Ooh, now that's not scary or nothing. Anyways, g'day tubes. I'm here somewhere. Oh, that was even worse. Ooh, it's getting nice in here. So, we are working in the shed here tonight, this evening. We are going to reassemble our corn grain grinding machine. And I see it's got a little leak in there. Oh, well, that's no good. How the crap am I going to get that disc off? Why does it have a leak? It never leaked before. Well, that's definitely gear oil in there. That's weird. Well, I tried to get something in there to get that out, and I don't have a puller. It would be all right if this disc here wasn't, you know, and I could have got on, and it just does. I don't know how you get that off, but anyways, I see I missed a bit of paint here. That's maybe not so good. I guess I forgot to paint that part, but I didn't want to get a whole lot on these threads here, right? So, anywho, I also didn't bring myself any greasy stuff. I think what I got here. Well, this comes apart fairly easy anyways, so. But anyways, we'll get you on a tripod. The little springs that go on here, I painted them actually today, so they're not quite ready yet to go back on. But okay, let's get you on a tripod here. Well, that's actually leaked a little bit there. Let's get you on a tripod here, and we'll start putting this back together. Okay, so I've got some new bolts. I've had these for a wee while, and if you remember, I had a real fight because these went through that plate, and these are the ones that have like just the slot in them. Real nightmare. And it was hard to hold that behind there and turn those. I eventually got them, but these are a little bit, where are you? Let me see. They're a little bit beefier, but I think these have worn down a little bit too, so hopefully they'll work. Like I say, I've had those for quite a while. They seem to recess in there fairly good, so I think they'll be all right. So let's get that in there, and I put the rough side up, flip the plate over, and there's my third one, and I do have my one kit here. Have some Allen keys if I can get the kit open. So now they're probably, well, I don't know what they are. Hopefully they're not too long. They should be all right. Okay, let me get my Allen keys out here. I'll try a metric set here first. And holy cow. Well, I guess they're not metric. Probably some weird size. And let's see, a 3/16 I'm betting. That'll work. Okay. Get this out of here. There. Okay, so also we have these little feeding guy things, and they kind of kept things going. I gotta put them on. And there should be 3 of them. Let's take this plate back out first for a minute. Yeah, I'm not cleaning those up. They'll be dirty as soon as I get her going again anyway, so. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm missing one. Everything was up here. Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe there is only 2. 1, 2. There's only 2. Whew! I was worried there for a second. There is only 2. Now, why that's leaking, I don't know. Funny thing is, though, if I turn this thing upside down, that's the only time it seems to leak. And it hasn't really leaked. Kind of like it was flipped up sitting on these studs for like the last 3 weeks. Didn't leak anything there. So I don't know. Alright, so these should go in here. Oops, date. And there's some fairly wore out little screws that hold them on, and there's another one there. So let's get you zoomed in a little more here so you can kind of see what's going on. Okay, I'll try to unzoom you. Try to remember to unzoom you. Try to grab a screwdriver. One of these will work. Not sure why that one's all ground up, but it's all ground up from something. Must have used it for something before. Don't remember now. Alright. So yeah, these little screws, they're a little hurting, but I don't have anything fine thread like that, so we'll have to run them a little bit longer, I guess. Probably should Loctite those in too, but they have little lock washers on them. Now the pulley for this thing I don't have ready to bolt back on either. I didn't like the way it welded. I don't know what it was. I tried to re-weld it on a little more, and all it did was kind of weld it on like it was splattering more. It was really weird. So I'm not too sure what the deal was with that. Lost my little lock washer. I'm not too sure what the deal was with that, but I kind of want to make a new pulley for it and make one a little bigger. I've got some bigger round pipe, 7-inch or something I can use instead of that little one. I want to go bigger so it doesn't spin quite so fast, because I really don't need it spinning like 10 million miles an hour. So yeah, that's sort of the plan. Maybe someday here we'll make a new pulley for it, but I gotta get to Princess Auto, even though I've been there twice since I was thinking of doing this, to get a new 1-inch hub. Because this is a 1-inch hub on this thing. Boy, this one screw is really wore out. Holy. She's good though. She's good. Alright. Seems to still spin. And this nut we can... should have been a washer. He had that one. Uh-oh. This nut basically just holds this plate on, and then this guy threads on top. That's your auger thing, right? That's your auger. So let's zoom you back out a little bit there. So, okay, we got those on. Yeah, this nut can go on. Except, why am I missing stuff? why, but I am missing that washer. You can see it's a fairly big washer. That is really weird. Just gonna check all behind here. Don't see it. Never mind, it's right there. It's looking right at it. Okay, so this guy can go on. This is a reverse thread too. It's kind of weird. And it doesn't look bad in the nut, but it seems to go on really tight. I don't know, maybe it's a locking nut or something, but it's about as far as I can turn it there. Wrecking the threads. I don't think it's supposed to go on easy. I don't remember now. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's a little more better. I didn't really tighten down too much, but okay, I can't hold that anymore. I don't want to use studs to hold it. Ouch. That's tighter now. I want to try hold it. I can't hold it. Almost warm enough in here I can take my coat off. That is so nice. I'm just going to turn up the heat a little bit more. If we can get it to 15, that'd be nice. Alright, now, before we go too much further here, I'd like to get that a little bit snugger if I could. Let's try this fancy looking tool. That'll hold her. I'll show you what this tool is for after. That's about as close as I can get her. This is actually a tool I made here for pulling the springs off our trampoline. Works good. You grab the spring under tension, you grab it on the side and then pull it out of the thing. It works great. To do that in the spring and then throw it in the trailer and take it to the scrapyard because it's no good now. Garbage! Okay, well, that's our base. Come out really nice. I'm gonna put that there for a second. I'm gonna mount it to the base, I think, here. Our bolts out of here. Probably start leaking now that I've got it upside down. I think the should go that way with the little ID tag sticking out. That seemed to work pretty good. Let me just make sure you're still in the shot a little bit here. Yeah, you know, I was thinking about it, thinking about the color I wanted to do for quite a while. And I know a lot of you are saying, oh, do it John Deere green, do it green and yellow. And like, the thing was red to start with. You know what? I think we're gonna have to make it red. So I kind of made that decision, we'll say, you know, and I know some of you guys weren't happy with that. But I think it looks probably a lot better red. and a bunch of colors, right? Oh yes, that one I can't get there. I don't think I have a. I have this 3/4 here. So I gotta figure out something different to mount this to for using wise. Like I got my workmate bench, and it works pretty good. It's not very solid, if you know what I mean. I want to get it on something where I can just kind of plunk it down and hook it up, and maybe have to strap her down a little bit. But you know, I don't really want to muck around too much with it, right? I want to get grinding. So let's just double check this one. That's pretty good. She's on her feet. Sweet. It's looking good. All right, now we can fight with these things, and these ones I'm gonna have to, I guess, clean out. They're the ones that mount to the other plate that stays stationary. And I guess I replaced these ones at one time. So let's fight with these ones. I got lock nuts for these. As I do here somewhere. That's one of them there. Oh yeah. These screws hanging out the back too is actually not going to be a bad deal either, because it'll help cycle crap around too, right, as it's going through. So let's put this away here, and what the heck size are probably metric these things? Well, in the back. Oh, 1/2 inch. Okay. So hopefully next time I have to ever take this apart again, having these type of screws in here will be a little bit easier. Those have got Torx bits in there, but not those ones. So this thing, I'll tell you a story on this thing. When I first got this thing, the chute and the little mechanism to open and close the chute, oh man, it was all seized up. It was sitting on this guy's garage floor, you know, sitting there going to you know what. And of course I said to the guy, well, what do you want for that? Oh gosh, I gotta have at least 150 for that. I'm like, oh, you're crazy, it doesn't even turn. You know, nothing works on it. He's like, oh, okay, well, what do you give me for it? I'm like, well, like 50 bucks. Oh, finally gave in. All right then. You know, it was just going crappy on his floor there, so I'm like, you know what? think I know what you're going to be doing with it if I don't do something with it. So you know what? I'm going to give you 50 bucks and that's it. So I brought it home. And it's about, well, not too long before I got into the hit and miss engines and stuff there, right? So we wanted something to run off it at the fair and stuff, and so I ended up picking that thing up, and boy, it was all seized. I'll show you the part that was seized in a moment here. It's in pretty rough shape though. Whoa, jumping. Oh, the floor is really cold down here still. I guess there's air leaking out of the walls or whatever. Not when I get the spray foam going in the springtime here. Nice and warm up. Like shoulder height, but floor height isn't super nice. Alright, we'll tighten these down now. So yeah, I got her home. Got her all, got her apart as much as I could. I took this whole chute assembly here. I dunked it in a bunch of, like a vat of diesel fuel for about a week. That actually loosened it up pretty good. Alright. Thinking that's not too bad. So the carburetor doesn't fit on there. This guy can probably go on now. That's your screw mechanism thingy. And that is probably not going to be the right size. Pretty good. Hard to hold back. It should tighten anyways as it's running. Okay. Well, that guy's good. Now. I was clever and I took pictures before I took it apart because I have a terrible memory. Like this went on this away. And it's probably going to start binding on a bit of a paint here. Well, that's not so good. Yeah, I tried not to get paint in there, but I did get primer in there. Just hope it's not cross-threading. I don't think it is, but I think that's fine, but it's got a bit of paint binding in there. Okay, so oh geez, I lost my pictures. Sure that went on here. Well, I don't know any better way to screw this thing in here other than using this thing. That is going to take an hour at least. There's no real way for me to get that paint out of there now either, so unless I burn it off. But I'm gonna pause a moment. I'll work on that, get that threaded back in, and hopefully it doesn't bind up too much. Okay, it's not actually going too bad until you get your thumb stuck between that stud and it still hurts. Now that adjusts to the tension, or the distance between these plates. It moves that front housing and pushes against the springs. So, oh, now all of a sudden it's tight again. What the crap? Was doing good. Oh, that's kind of weird. We're doing really good there. It's just like it hits a binding spot or something. But I probably really should lube this thing. But I just don't have anything here. I've got some sheep grease, but the thing fell off the counter and broke the top off, so it's not tremendously too much good now. But I can spray probably, well, I don't know. Probably should spray something on there. Darn it. Always the way, huh? Always the way. It might come off easier now, I don't know. Seems like once you get going, it's not bad. I tried to run a wire brush on it. Didn't work too well. So what I'll try to do, I don't know how, I'm going to try to get some, oh that's not going to work. Try to get some sheep grease out of here, and I don't think that one's going to work either. Oh man, they're all reversed ones. What about, that one might work. Oh, come on! You know you want to. Just don't want to work, do you? There's nothing in it. Are you kidding me, bud? I know there's some in there, I can feel it. There it comes, a little bit. I guess I gotta go sheep grease shopping. Oh my goodness. I hardly need any of it, but now it's running out of juice. It's probably frozen in the bottom. Don't try that at home. I'm gonna get it open. It's just like the Spam. Oh, except that key broke. Now my things are jammed. I just need some more sheep grease. This stuff's so thick I don't know how it sprays anyways. But it is good stuff. Oh, there's all kinds of it in the bottom there, but it's so thick and gooey. let's get something. There's the mixing ball there. I'll get that out in a second and show you. Yeah, I probably should have lubed this up first. Oh well. This stuff actually, this fluid film, you can actually buy it in like a gallon pail, like a paint can. Dirty stuff. Smear around. There's your mixing ball there though. Let's hang on a sec. Got extra sheet grease on my fingers here. So every time you shake a can, you wonder what's in there. It's a little glass, and look at this actually. This one's really cool. Get this up to the light here. It's a little purple glass bead. Pretty big, really. It's kind of cool. So if you take one of those apart, that's what you're finding, a little glass bead. Very pretty. Your wife will love it. Mine would be like, ew, I don't want that. Can you get that out of here, please? No, she'd probably like it. My one sister though, woo, she'd like that. She's one of them blue glass people, loves the blue glass and stuff. Okay, now we can go back to throwing this back on. Help for a few years anyways. That's better. And it looks like I missed some paint there though. But you know what? I think this other thing will cover that anyways, so it's not going to matter a whole lot. Okay, now I believe this is next. And that thing here we can set off to the side for a moment, because we need to put this together now. And I guess these both look about the same. Goes in a layer, and this one stays stationary. And I've got bolts for this, but I think they're too small. They look a little small. Got 1, 2, 3 of these bigger ones, but they're the old slotted ones, so that's not fun. These have locks on them, and I don't like those. The heads are too big on them. So what's these ones we had in there, I think, was it? No, it wasn't those ones. It wasn't those ones. Oh yeah, because this gets attached. These aren't the greatest of bolts for in here, but these will work under here. Okay, I'm going to use these ones, I think. Those are the ones that were on the inside, that's right. So they're junk. They're junk. Okay, getting her snorted out here. So we got these ones that are the hex ones. The Allen ones. They go in there. And they seem to seat in there really nice. Okay. And stay there on its own. This thing has to get mounted this way. That's your hopper chute thing. But I also, before I get too far ahead, have to mount this thing in there, and it's got no lube on it. But if you don't use it after a while, it'll rust up. I'll lube this thing maybe a little bit, and just a skim coat on here to kind of prevent that from rusting in there and making a mess. But this is kind of the eating part, so you don't want to be slathering, I don't think, too much junk on there. Alright, and that goes in there. That's your chute thingy, right, for your hopper. This has got to come back up here. This mounts on this way, upside down. Something like that. And then we've got a lock washer. I'm not missing anything, am I? I don't think so. Seems like these are really long bolts, but I think that's the right bolts for them. Let's flip that right upside down. There's no gaskets or nothing between these things. That's it. On they go. Okay, sheep grease. I think we're done with that. Darn it, forgot to bring my garbage can out again. One of these days, we'll remember. I think are a 9/16. Yeah, they're not a half-inch. So, a story while we're working here for you too. I've got, I think I've mentioned it before. Now that one's a half-inch. Last summer, we were out plowing with the AR. Remember we were out plowing? I did a video on that. I filled up the big tank because I was expecting to plow for a lot of the day. The big tank. And lo and behold, there was a weep in it. So, there was other issues too with the clutch, of course. It was being stupid. And what else? It seemed to me like it was kind of getting too hot. Like I just went down the field once with it and it wasn't a hot day. There's no water pumps in those. It's like, works like a lava lamp kind of thing. So, got down the field once there, and I was only first gear. That's all I could pull in. That clutch was just, I think, barely engaged. And, sweet. The clutch just was not working, and the tank had a leak in it. So I've got the tank off down at my other garage there. I sealed it today, and it's got a bit of a weird tank on it. If I had a couple of sheets of paper, I could show you. So basically it's like your tank and the ends. Well, the tank comes out like this, and the end plate comes on here, and then it wraps metal around like this, and then on the inside of the seam they solder all that. Well, I guess it had a problem. It was leaking, so they tried to resolder it again. Maybe it worked for a while, I don't know. It didn't seem to though, so they ended up putting some of this JB Weld crap all on there. Well, that didn't work either, so they tried silicone on the top of it too. Well, that didn't work either, because then it was leaking on me. So I shouldn't need that anymore. So I've got it off, got it cleaned, and sealed it today with some Bill Hirsch, it's called. I guess this guy that made this tank sealing stuff. And so the big tank's sealed, but I kept the small little tank. It's a little 1 gallon tank on the back of that thing, on the AR, to kind of do with you guys. So when we get another nice day up here, we'll do that. So, all right, we've got what do we do here now? I guess we can get this thing kind of mounted to here, but I don't have the springs for this ready yet, so we won't be doing that. That is there. And these are the nuts that go on here. And those springs kind of get sprung, you know, on there. So I see a spot I missed. These spots. That's gonna be tricky getting those now too, because they're kind of buried in there, and it's not really the right time of year out here to be doing that. So, oh my goodness. So we probably won't be spraying that guy. Now, what am I missing? Am I missing anything? I think we're all right here. That should be wide open. That's the kind of chintzy little bolt there for this thing. They got paint inside of there, which is good, but now it's kind of binding up on me a little bit. So I'm going to have to try to get that out of there. Might be easier said than done though. It's pretty good paint, this stuff. It's hard now. I got a tool here. What did I do with her? What did I do with her? I got a tool down for cleaning the other thing. What did I do with it? Under there. Oh, right in front of me. Plumbing cleaner. Oh, it's too small though. To clean that so it'll at least fit on here. It's still really tight. Yeah, for trim clad paint, this stuff hardened up pretty nice actually. Wow! Too much primer, I guess. So this is a tool actually for cleaning copper pipes. You know, fittings and the pipe 3/4 and 1/2 inch. That's what that is. That's what I'm using here anyways. Pretty good. Works nice. That's bothering me though, that little bit of spot there with no paint on it. I guess I totally missed that when I was painting. That happens. Oh, wow. goes. Well, that's snug. Not exactly the right hammering tool, but I do have one. It's a good hammering tool. See, that worked great. What are you talking about? All right, well. Stiff, that's good though, because then it won't vibrate on you. Leave her open a little bit, maybe. It's kind of tight, but alright, I think that is about all we can do today for this thing. And this tape can come off of here, I guess, now. I'm going to get the pulley made for it. I made one before, and see if I can remember again. There we go. But I think I want to go bigger pulley. You know what else I got to do here? Hopefully I don't scratch it all up. Maybe I did tighten this down. Yeah, I did, I guess. Okay. I had that back plate off there and I resealed it all. That's right too. Can't even tell there's actually a plate there now because the paint's all gone in there now. So, but there we go. That's, I guess, it for that. Not much else I can do right now with it. I think that looks pretty darn good. Looks pretty darn good. And we'll get this peeled off of here. And there is what it was. Got a bit of stuff on it there now, but there we go. Alright, so I think we're happy with that. I gotta get the springs on here. Yeah, that's about it. But this is, I'm gonna have to touch this up later on, I guess. Darn it. Doesn't need much, just a couple of, put a card behind here or something, just give it a couple of sprays there. I don't have that red up here, though I already do it. Anyways, sweet. Oh, I've got to show you the new rod here too. This is the 5/8 cold rolled here I got. It even says 5/8 by whatever that 13-inch, no, 13 something. They cut this for me out of their piece. CR is cold rolled. So I got the new thing welded in here. Hopefully it'll work. I kind of shaved her a bit too close, I think, on one side, but that's not too bad to get out again. I didn't weld it solid right, so because you want this part to mesh into the gear things. You don't want anything really welded there, so. But that's the one we're going to bend. Like, what did I do with that one now? Oh my goodness, there's definitely ghosts in here. There's definitely some ghosts. Anyways, I'll have to remark it, I guess, and rebend her. So we'll do that up and get that crank handle for the 9N going. And that'll be a nice little project. And I've got the air canister all cleaned out. I just have to reassemble that and re-oil it. And then we could, I'm going to wait till the better weather, but then we can get the carburetor on and that air tube back on, and then she'll be a good complete system again. So that's coming up hopefully if we get some decent weather changes. So I'd like to get it off my trailer actually. And well, I guess if it's sitting there for now, that's not going to hurt nothing there, but anyways. But anyways, that's it for today. I'm going to head her out. So thanks again for watching. We'll catch you all later. And you guys have a good day. Probably our next video will be cleaning and sealing the little 1-gallon tank on the AR tank, fuel tank. So I got to get it kind of put back together. But as I've got the tank off now and the hood off, it's really nice and easy to access the area to get the new hoses in. That's what that's sitting there waiting for. The new radiator hoses. Ugh. So their bottom one has like a 15-inch. I think there's a 7 or 8-inch on the top. So I want to take all that apart though and see why it seemed to really heat up. I almost kind of think that there's something blocking it. I am 98% sure that there is no thermostat in those things. It's just like a thermal siphon, they call it. It basically works like a lava lamp. You know, it gets hot down here and it moves up and then it pushes and then, you know, kind of keeps going around through. So anyways, yeah, it just got, unless the gauge wasn't reading right, but it seemed to me like it got really hot. And it really wasn't working that hard because the clutch was slipping more than anything. But anyways, so but I do have the clutch fixed in it, and I have been out a little bit on it, and it's actually so good now that if I put it in high range, 2nd gear, and just jam it, it'll stall it out. That's how good the clutch bites in now. Blah, 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 blah. And that's it. I'm like, oh crap. So you got to go real slow with them, right? And away you go. Pretty good sound effects, I know. But anyways, that's it for today. Oh, we'll catch you all later. And we'll see you next time for some tank cleaning and sealing. There's many different methods to clean a tank. And I'm going to try one that I don't know if anybody's tried before. But the stuff I'm going to use will pretty much dissolve rusty stuff in front of you. Like right in front of your face. It's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And I'll show you that later on. But anyways, catch you all later. Thanks again for watching, and you guys have a good day.